Hey guys, welcome back to Aaron's Marble Works. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to change your fuel filter and water separator on your 13 to 18 6.7 Cummins. I'm going to be using these Wix filters that I purchased off of Amazon. I'll leave a link for these in the description so you guys can check it out. Also, make sure to check out my other Ram truck and Cummins related content. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. You're also going to want to make sure that you have a 28mm socket and this wrench that you're going to use for your water separator filter. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. So first off, I'm going to start with the fuel filter that's located underneath the hood of the truck. You're going to use a 28mm socket to take this cover off of here. Now it's a plastic cover located right there. During this part of the video, my camera died, but you'll see you just put the socket on there and use your ratchet to turn that cover off. It shouldn't be on there too tight, and there's just enough room for you to be able to fit a ratchet down in there. And this was the part where the camera froze and stopped recording. Okay, so here's a look at that cover that I just removed. I'm going to set that down out of the way and get ready to get this filter out of here. Not really sure exactly what my camera was thinking in this position. Maybe it wanted to catch some awesome ladder climbing skills for you guys. But anyway, you're just going to want to jiggle this filter back and forth until it breaks free and pull it up and out of there. Now I'm just taking the new Wix fuel filter out of its packaging, and I'm going to get out this rubber O-ring that we're going to be replacing. You can use a small screwdriver to pry the old O-ring off of there and use this new one in its place. Sorry for all the funky camera angles. My camera mount wasn't really cooperating with me. Here I am just sliding that new O-ring over the housing. Pretty easy to do. Just make sure that it's completely all the way down. This is going to ensure that you don't have any leaks. Now you're just going to put the new fuel filter in with that blue seal facing down and press it into place firmly and make sure that it's seated all the way down in the housing. Now I'm just going to put this cover back on and tighten it down using my 28mm socket. And be sure not to over tighten this thing. You just want to make sure that it's tight enough to where it's not going to leak or anything. And at the end, we'll do a visual inspection and make sure that everything is sealed up and we have no leaks. And just like with anything, make sure to put it on first by hand to make sure that it turns freely and that you're not cross-threading it, and then you can tighten it down with the wrench. Just tighten it down with the wrench until it's pretty snug. This awkward position that your hand is in with the ratchet almost ensures that you don't over tighten it. I just get it as tight as I can with my hand closest to the head of the ratchet. Okay, so for the water separator, you're just going to come around to the passenger side of the truck, and here I'm going to show you where it's at. First thing you're going to want to do is remove this clip. You can just remove this by pushing down on the little tab and sliding it out. Now hopefully you'll be able to turn this loose with your hand, but if not, you're going to need to use an oil filter wrench, and I'll show you how I did that in just a second because mine was on there too tight to remove by hand. For removing this, I like using this plier style oil filter wrench because it's large enough to fit around this water separator and still give me good leverage to turn it. Now that I've broken it loose, I can turn it by hand pretty easily. There's this little drain plug at the bottom here. You'll want to get your wire out of the way. It's pretty underwhelming though, the amount of fuel that comes out of it. but there's still going to be quite a bit that is still in the water separator, and it's going to make a big mess on the ground. You'll also get plenty of it down your arm too. You could have an oil pan of some sort on the ground, or I'll just wash this up later. Then I'm just going to put it in my drain pan and let that fuel drain out of it while I get the new filter ready to go. I told you you'd get a lot on your arm and your hands and your clothes, and all your laundry is going to smell like diesel fuel for like a week after this. It's just a world of fun. Now moving on to getting the new water separator ready to go. I'm just going to peel this tape off of the top. There's a little rubber gasket on here that's going to go on the electrical connection. Now that the fuel is drained from the old water separator, I'm just going to set it down on this table and use my wrench to remove this plastic connection from this fuel filter. You're going to want to be very careful not to break it. That's why this wrench is so handy. You definitely are going to want to have one of these wrenches. I'll show you here in just a little bit that somebody must have not used one of these at some point. I purchased this wrench at a Napa Auto Parts, but I'll leave the part number in the description so you guys can find one. Now that it's off of there, I can show you that little rubber gasket as well as where the plastic is kind of broken, presumably because somebody used the wrong wrench on this thing. Here's a better look at the connection. Now I'm just removing the old O-ring and use the new one that was provided with the filter. It just slides over the top of this. Then thread it into the new water separator by hand, making sure not to cross thread it. Get it snug. And then you're going to use that wrench and tighten it down. And make sure not to over tighten it, just get it snug. Here's a better look at the damage that was done by using the wrong wrench. Now I'm back under the truck and ready to put the new filter on there. I'm just rubbing a little bit of diesel fuel around that gasket. This will make it easier to remove next time. Then I'm just going to thread it on there by hand, making sure not to cross thread or over tighten it. You just want to get it as tight as you can by hand, just like you would an oil filter. Now we're just going to plug our connector back in, and you'll feel a little click when you know that it's snapped in all the way. Okay guys, anytime that I do oil change or a fuel filter change, any kind of fluid change, before I go resetting anything, I just like to start the vehicle, make sure that there isn't any leaks, and then once I know that all that is good, then I'm going to be able to reset it. So since I just replaced the fuel filters, it's gonna need to kind of like get fuel running through the system. I don't know, feed the system, purge the system, whatever you want to call it, until a direct line of fuel is running to the engine. So it might need to crank over a few times. So don't be worried about that. That's perfectly normal. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'll let it crank, then I'll turn it off. And I'm gonna do that again. Let it crank. Oh, there we go. Second time. There we go. All right. Pretty good. Only needed to do it twice. If it's having a little harder time, guys, don't just sit there and crank and crank and crank and crank. Do it, you know, like let it crank for a little bit and then stop. Let it crank for a little bit, then stop. And it shouldn't take more than like 2 or 3 times to get that fuel running up to the engine, and then it'll start just fine. Nothing to worry about. Now, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get out and we're gonna look underneath it and check for any leaks. now see anything dripping. You're also going to want to come up here, look under the hood. Nothing leaking. Looks good.